In the quiet spaces of transformation, where night meets dawn, growth often resembles solitude. Before you ascend, you may find yourself abandoned, left with echoes of friendships that once felt unbreakable. It's a stark truth wrapped in the ancient wisdom of Stoicism. Not everyone can walk with you as you rise. Here, we unravel the enigma of personal evolution, a path marked not by noise, but by distance. As you begin to shape a new reality, a quiet space forms around you, like a chrysalis protecting what is still becoming. And in that space, the soft realization settles in like fog. Growth asks for letting go, not out of bitterness, but out of alignment. Not out of loss, but out of becoming. In the stillness of the night, when the world is hushed, embark on a journey where growth intertwines with the gentle art of letting go. This is a path where the paradox of expansion lies in shedding, where the solitude of self-discovery becomes a quiet companion. To rise, one must often part with those not destined to ascend alongside. Growth begins with the ancient realization that life demands both expansion and contraction. Just as a tree sheds its leaves to prepare for new growth, individuals striving for personal evolution must sometimes release familiar bonds. This shedding is not an act of malice, but a natural progression towards authenticity and self-actualization. What once flourished may no longer align with the values you now cherish. These friendships, though once invaluable, might not fit the contours of your new self. In this delicate dance, we find a profound lesson woven through time. Such experiences echo the teachings of Stoicism and other philosophical traditions, where change and the fluidity of human relationships are inevitable. As we step onto this path, we must embrace the solitude that follows. It is within these quiet moments that introspection takes root, granting clarity and purpose. As Marcus Aurelius suggested, accepting the ebb and flow of relationships allows for an understanding of loss without resentment. Each friendship, no matter how short-lived, imparts wisdom, teaching us to appreciate past connections while welcoming the potential of novel alignments. In this way, growth becomes an act of renewal, a vibrant testament to life's enduring cycles. Impermanence, a constant thread in philosophical thought, teaches that all things, including friendships born of convenience, are transient. While this idea may unsettle, it cultivates emotional resilience. In Buddhism, attachment is viewed as a source of suffering. Releasing our grip on the transient nature of connections frees us from the emotional turmoil often accompanying the dissolution of friendships. Accepting impermanence shifts our focus from the pain of ending to the wisdom it imparts. Each parting leaves behind growth's legacy, reminding us who we were and inspiring who we might become. By embracing life's fluidity, we find peace, allowing our journey to unfold without clinging to phantoms of the past. True growth is, above all, an inward journey into the soul's depths, where transformation quietly roots. In the quietude of our thoughts, far from others' scrutiny, self-awareness blooms. As Carl Jung reminded us, individuation, the quest to become our truest selves, demands courage to diverge from others' expectations. This inward alchemy, often invisible, requires trusting that our path may diverge from those familiar with our former selves. In this introspective refuge, we cultivate resilience, unearthing truths that will illuminate our path forward. Friendships serve as mirrors, reflecting facets of ourselves we choose to reveal. As we navigate the reflective realm of relationships, we gain understanding of which connections nurture growth and which hinder it. Occasionally, these mirrors refuse to reflect our burgeoning light. Friends unable or unwilling to undergo their transformations may remain tethered to the past, struggling to understand our newfound clarity. Existential philosophy teaches that growth, though sometimes lonely, requires forging a path untrodden. As we journey forth, convenience-born friendships give way, clearing space for those fostering authenticity. Establishing boundaries is essential for personal growth, signaling where one self ends and another begins. Often met with resistance, boundaries serve as declarations of self-preservation, a testament to our commitment to well-being. Through the Socratic lens, freedom is defined not by constraints' absence, but by accepting those constraints we set for ourselves. Boundaries shield us from people who drain our spirit, inviting reciprocal respect. As clarity unveils superficial bonds, we reassess their significance in our lives. Though change may bring discomfort, it is a path to genuine connection. Fortifying these borders transforms our personal domain into a sanctuary for growth. Growth's journey is not a solitary march, but an intricate dance between solitude and connection. We oscillate between introspection and companionship, each step grounded in personal evolution's rhythm. Solitude offers clarity, a refuge to commune with one's thoughts. In this sacred space, doubts are dispelled and truths illuminate our path. Yet the dance's rhythm calls us back to the world, carrying insights gained from our solitary sojourns. The cycle of withdrawal and return breathes life into our journey, balancing inner reflection with outward expression. Authenticity, a beacon in a world of artifice, demands we transcend others' judgments to align with our inner voice. Embracing authenticity requires confronting the fear of being misunderstood, knowing that our journey may alienate unready souls. Nietzsche's teachings urge us to embrace inner chaos, defying societal expectations. As we journey deeper into authenticity, external approval becomes a shadow of the past, replaced by purpose rooted in truth. Detachment from societal judgment liberates us, paving an authentic life rich with purpose. Within this journey, emotional resilience emerges as a cornerstone of personal fortitude, navigating loss and change's turbulent seas. As friendships dissolve, emotions that threaten to overwhelm arise: anger, grief, and resentment. Yet cultivating emotional resilience transforms these raw emotions into growth's catalyst. Stoic philosophy guides us to mastery, detaching from temporary emotions to gain perspective. This mastery invites us to embrace loss as a teacher, discovering strength and growth in its lessons. Finally, new connections sprout in the fertile ground cleared by departing friendships. These bonds are nurtured by shared values and mutual understanding, holding potential for profound transformation. As we cultivate them, we inspire growth along shared path of self-discovery. Through this renewal cycle, we contribute to a world flourishing with authenticity, leaving indelible marks on those we encounter. Personal transformation is a subtle dance between solitude and connection, a journey where the anticipation of change is often overshadowed by an unexpected reality, the dissonance that arises with those around you. As one embarks upon this path, old familiarities might unravel, revealing a tapestry woven from diverse paradigms. Here, one must come to terms with the solitude that marks personal evolution. It is a journey walked largely alone, guided by the lantern of introspection, rather than the beacon of external validation, as friends who once resonated with your essence may now perceive shadows where there is only light. This solitude births a silence that speaks volumes. It echoes in the spaces once filled with casual conversations, as you choose depth over noise. To many, this quietude might seem an impenetrable wall, yet it is but a sacred refuge. In silence, you hear the whispers of your own soul, away from the clamor of external expectations. This delicate balance is often misunderstood, seen as withdrawal rather than the harmonic pause it truly represents. The reduction of superficial distractions cultivates an internal focus, and while some might misinterpret this shift as neglect, within these pauses lies a profound intent, the nurturing of transformative connections anchored in authenticity. Navigating away from the pull of old patterns is like parting from a familiar shore toward uncharted waters. It requires courage to abandon the security of past routines, whose comforts have given way to dissonance with your evolving identity. Those who remain anchored in your previous narrative may struggle to navigate your new course, mistaking purpose for caprice. Yet, each step away from ingrained habits is a testament to your growing alignment with deeper truths. The courage to redefine what was once known is met with resistance, a natural response, for few embrace change with open arms. However, within this resistance lies an opportunity to strike a balance between honoring past connections and pursuing unyielding growth. Articulating new priorities presents another challenge as you strive to convey the motivations behind your altered path. When health, solitude, and mindfulness take precedence over social conventions, misunderstanding looms. Here lies the artistry of articulation, to not only state your current priorities, but to reveal the soulful motivations behind them. Vulnerability becomes your ally, inviting empathy rather than defensiveness. Some misunderstandings will persist, yet openness can inspire those around you to explore their own hidden paths. Discipline, the bedrock of growth, is often misread as inflexibility, yet to live with intent is not to shackle oneself to rigidity, but to align actions with purpose. In this discipline lies the freedom to pursue a life not dictated by fleeting desires. Like the Stoics before you, you find strength in structure, a sanctuary from the chaos of happenstance. By discerningly dedicating yourself to this pursuit, misunderstandings slowly transform into dialogues of shared values, bridging gaps that once seemed insurmountable. In this transformative journey, solitude becomes both sanctuary and testing ground. It is within this sacred space that clarity is born. Solitude is the companion that many misjudge as aloofness, yet it is the crucible where true alignment is forged. This time alone fosters insight, clarity, and a renewed commitment to authenticity. While some may view this withdrawal as a divide, it is in truth a bridge to deeper self-awareness, an invitation for others to see beyond what is said to what is felt. As your transformations ripple outward, emotional responses from loved ones surface. Concern and doubt manifest, for change challenges the bonds of familiarity. It is here that patience becomes a balm. Embracing these emotional landscapes with empathy, you validate these feelings while gently affirming your truth. Explain that your pursuit of alignment isn't an act of abandonment, but an endeavor in authenticity. As understanding deepens, trust grows, painting a tapestry of shared humanity, where fears transform and connections evolve. Reassurance, though, remains a steady anchor amidst transformation's seas. This does not demand compromise of values, but invites unity in the strength found in aligned journeys. Through open-hearted sharing, you offer reassurance, illustrating how personal growth enriches relationships rather than depleting them. This shared voyage transforms misunderstandings into milestones, knitting a tapestry of mutual exploration and strength. The courage to embrace misunderstanding becomes an emblem of authenticity. Accepting that not everyone will understand your journey requires strength, for dissonance is the shadow that walks beside the light of growth. In standing firmly yet gracefully in your truth, you inspire others on their paths, offering silent permission to cherish individuality. Finally, wisdom permits the forward motion quintessential to this journey. As relationships ebb and flow, your steps forward are guided by a compass aligned with core values, cherishing connections willing to grow in mutual understanding. Here, wisdom finds its voice, nurturing open dialogues, fostering empathy, and turning misunderstandings into opportunities for learning and connection. As every step continues, this wisdom enriches your narrative, transforming your alchemical journey into one not only of personal fulfillment, but of shared human evolution. In the vast tapestry of our lives, friendships weave in as colorful threads, each adding a unique hue to the canvas of our existence. Yet, amid this artwork, we often discover that not all threads are spun from the same resilience. Some, fragile and transient, unravel effortlessly at the faintest breeze of change. These are the friendships born from mere convenience, sprouting in the fertile ground of shared circumstances, perhaps at work, school, or during common pursuits. Like flowers that bloom under the same skies, they require little tending, but often lack the depth to withstand the storms brought on by personal growth. They rest on the sandy foundations of convenience rather than the robust bedrock of genuine connection and understanding. As we traverse our path of self-discovery, these surface-level bonds face inevitable trials. Growth, by its nature, demands transformation, often revealing the fragility of ties not meant to endure. It is a gentle recognition rather than harsh judgment, a realization that not everyone is destined to walk the entirety of our journey with us. In this awareness, we learn to view what might seem like loss as a necessary pruning, allowing us to cultivate a garden richer in truly fruitful connections. Through this lens, the unraveling of convenience-based friendships becomes less about sorrow and more about creating space for relationships that nourish the soul. The belief that all friendships are meant to endure through every season of change is a comforting yet misleading illusion. Society teaches us to hold tight to our bonds, yet rarely do we speak of the natural ebb and flow that accompanies personal evolution. Bonds once vibrant and alive may fade when faced with the chasm of significant life changes, such as moving to a new city, shifting lifestyles, or pursuing divergent dreams. These are life's cyclical patterns, and embracing them allows us to grow by acknowledging the impermanence of what we once deemed everlasting. When growth takes center stage, the veil of illusion lifts, giving way to a sobering reality. The journey of transformation often challenges the core of our identity, prompting introspection and critical assessments of our relationships. This soul-searching is essential, guiding us to recognize that varied phases of life demand different forms of connection and support. Accepting the temporary nature of some bonds enables us to cherish them for the fleeting joys they brought, steering us gently away from bitterness to honor those friendships as once valuable tales in our personal anthology. To discern the superficial nature of a friendship, it is crucial to look beyond shared moments and examine the essence of the connection. These relationships often reveal their superficiality through a lack of emotional depth, defined more by shared activities than common values. Conversations tend to hover around the mundane, rarely venturing into the profound. In such companionships, revelations or discussions of personal growth often meet with discomfort or indifference. Growth shines a beacon onto these shallow connections, highlighting their limited contribution to our deeper selves. Achieving this clarity requires courage, a willingness to face the implications that these relationships, while convenient, do not fuel our quest for authenticity. The liberation that comes with recognizing this truth is profound, for it grants the freedom to release what no longer serves and pave the way for more soulful connections. This is an act not of judgment, but of self-commitment, understanding that true friendships thrive on depth and an unguarded engagement with your unfolding self. Letting go of friendships that no longer serve your evolving self isn't abandonment, but a necessity for alignment. By divesting from static connections, you create a tapestry welcoming of new threads, connections that resonate with your present being. This endeavor takes courage and self-awareness, viewing the act of letting go not as rejection, but an embrace of life's shifting dynamics. In the liberation of release, we reclaim a sense of worth, creating the fertile ground for relationships that offer deeper, more enduring resonance. Our friendships often function as mirrors, reflecting back the trajectories of our growth and change. They provide glimpses into our evolving identity, highlighting areas for growth and aspects of ourselves we choose to carry forward. Those who remain present remind us of stability and shared beginnings, while those who fall away illustrate the profound changes we've navigated. This reflective quality of friendships, serving as both comfort and catalyst, enables us to engage with ourselves honestly and insightfully. With growth, clarity emerges, a cherished gift illuminating the energies and interactions that align with our soul's path. It aids in discerning relationships that elevate and support us from those that merely linger out of habit. This empowerment through clarity allows informed choices about the company we keep, ensuring our circle truly reflects our values and aspirations. By honoring clarity, we open ourselves to connections that uphold our journey, fostering authentic self-alignment and deeper, long-lasting bonds. In the deep wells of self-discovery, one often begins by dismantling the comforting illusions woven by society. Foremost among these is the belief that seeking approval equates to genuine love and acceptance. From our earliest days, we are gently coaxed into the habit of conforming, aligning our actions with the desires of others. This pursuit of approval becomes a woven tapestry masking our true selves. As cultural narratives persuade us to chase validation, we drift from authenticity, entwined in the ephemeral chains of societal and familial expectations. Stoicism offers a guiding light, urging us to steer our lives not by the fickle winds of others' opinions, but by the unyielding compass of our true selves. The approval we so fervently chase is as transient as morning mist, never a true reflection of our worth. Awakening to the realization that our value does not hinge on external applause marks a pivotal moment in one's journey. It's a profound shift, akin to a phoenix rising from the ashes, shedding the constraints of fear and insecurity. Existentialism invites us to embrace this radical authenticity, even as we traverse the solitude it might bring. In this quiet void, once filled with the chatter of external expectations, we find a profound clarity, a revelation of self-worth that stands resilient against the need for approval. Setting boundaries becomes a sacred act, a declaration that our emotional space is no longer available for unintentional trespass. These invisible lines, far from being walls of exclusion, guard our inner peace, a peace considered sacred in Stoic philosophy. Healthy boundaries foster relationships that nurture rather than drain our spirit. Realigning these personal fronts can lead to uncomfortable shifts. Yet, as Seneca advises, seek companions in growth, not in stagnation. When relationships falter due to newly defined boundaries, it is not failure but a transformation, nature's way of curating connections that resonate with our true self. This evolution is not a tearing down, but a selective pruning, fostering relationships grounded in mutual respect. In the void left by slipping relationships, silence enters, often perceived as loss, but, in truth, an invitation to introspection. The once bustling phone calls and messages give way to introspective conversations with the self, carving space for stifled dreams and desires to surface. Embrace this silence, not as absence, but as presence, a nourishing garden for the mind's cultivation. Buddhism beautifully portrays this silence as a canvas for deeper contemplation, where the symphony of our soul plays out, unencumbered by external noise. Embarking on this path demands facing resistance, particularly from those who thrived on our compliance. Discontent, like a shadow, follows, masking itself as disappointment. Yet, Epictetus reminds us of the serenity in controlling only our responses, not the perceptions of others. This wisdom reshapes criticisms from confrontations into life's gentle lessons. Our journey is not to pacify every storm of discontent, but to navigate it with grace, viewing resistance as a mirror for self-discovery. Understanding springs from such dialogue, fortifying some relationships while gently releasing others that no longer serve our path. Solitude becomes a forge for inner resilience, a sacred retreat where vulnerability transforms into strength. Echoing the meditations of a solitary monk, this self-imposed isolation refines our essence, burning away dependency to reveal steadfastness. Stoicism introduces this resilience as an acceptance of life's impermanence, a fortitude emerging not from ease, but from embracing hardship. In solitude, we meet our shadow selves, the hidden fears unveiled, integrating them until a stronger self emerges, grounded and ready. Relationships must evolve alongside transformation, shedding compliance for authenticity. Every connection undergoes scrutiny, the discerning gaze deciding whether it fosters growth or fosters chains. This re-evaluation parallels the art of pruning, where removing hindrances allows flourishing. Relationships thriving in this new light foster mutual respect and support, encouraging higher purpose for each soul involved. Authenticity emerges as the harmonious alignment of our inner truths and outer expressions. A life lived in authentic resonance fosters integrity and coherence, enabling a vibrancy transcending mere existence. This authenticity demands confronting the facades, urging us, as Nietzsche inspired, to become who you are. Such congruence invigorates, attracting relationships that mirror this newfound identity, serving as both lighthouse and navigator on this journey. Detachment becomes not a barrier, but a profound act of love, releasing outdated identities to embrace change. This liberation aligns with Buddhist teachings, fostering a love that flourishes without restrictive conditions. As we let go, a compassionate love remains, understanding that what is meant to grow with us will thrive. Detached yet connected, we cherish the freedom to evolve together. Underneath this shedding of people-pleasing lies the quest for true self-worth, an assuredness that transcends external validation. Through introspective rituals like mindfulness and solitude, we connect deeply with our inner self, nurturing the understanding of our intrinsic value. Maslow hints that self-actualization rests upon this foundation, an eternal unfolding, revealing a soul vibrant in its own light. Life becomes an endless dance, each boundary and lost connection, but a step in a unified choreography. Embracing life's impermanence reveals change as a continuous gateway to rebirth. Stoicism's wisdom teaches harmony with nature's rhythms, embracing the dance of paradoxes with curiosity and grace. As eternal students of life's rhythms, we discover the profound joy of existing fully, alive to each moment's possibility. In the vast silence of solitude, where echoes and shadows weave tales untold, the seeker of growth finds a sanctuary, not a void. This realm, often dreaded for its aloneness, transforms into a sacred expanse where the soul, untethered from the world's cacophony, discovers itself anew. Here, in the heart of solitude, one's essence begins to crystallize, shedding the layers painted by others' expectations. The aloneness becomes a crucible for potential, tempering the soul into steadfastness and purpose, preparing it for the intricate dance of life beyond its solitary shell. What begins as discomfort, the hush of solitude mutates into a symphony of understanding, a necessary counterpoint to life's crowded melodies. Within this embrace of quietude, clarity unfurls its wings, offering perspectives shrouded in the noise of social entanglements. It is here that we learn to listen, truly listen, to the whispers of our innermost dialogues, truths often masked beneath layers of external input. Solitude becomes an ally, a nurturing ground for reconciling what was with what is becoming, laying a foundation upon which a life, firm and true, can stand. Venturing into this solitary journey evokes vulnerability, embracing the uncertainty of a path less walked. The isolation, rather than a desolate wilderness, reveals itself to be fertile soil for introspection. Solitude fosters a conversation with oneself, unencumbered by the weight of judgment, birthing a profound understanding of personal dreams, capabilities, and the areas yearning for growth. Here, resilience and wisdom take root, nurtured in the rich earth of solitude, ready to sprout into a deeper peace within. Solitude soon becomes less a fleeting state and more a faithful companion, encouraging detachment from the relentless pursuit of outside validation. In this sanctuary, authenticity flourishes, coaxing away the masks worn to conform. In surrendering to the embrace of solitude, one attunes to their true nature, grounding actions in values and passions unadulterated by external influence. This nurturing environment pays homage to stillness, where growth blossoms, propelling the soul toward its destined wholeness. Recalling that loneliness is a transient experience rather than a defining trait allows for resilience to anchor firmly in the heart. This understanding transforms the perception of loneliness, not as an eternal verdict, but a passage towards meaningful connection and fulfillment. It prompts the turning inward, an assessment of true priorities, laying pathways toward connections rich in authenticity and respect. By embracing this view, individuals are stirred to confront and transform loneliness, laying the groundwork for enduring, meaningful relationships, honoring the evolved self. In this solitude, an opportunity arises, a reconnection with the self. Freed from external impositions, one embarks on an introspective journey, a renewed curiosity illuminating the intricacies of identity. Here, past experiences, beliefs, and values are scrutinized, and those that falter under the weight of their own irrelevance are discarded. This unification empowers authentically, bestowing confidence and direction as one navigates life with clarity. Throughout history, solitude has been esteemed as a rite of passage for seekers of wisdom and enlightenment. Ancient traditions encourage withdrawal from the mundane to uncover extraordinary potential within. Solitude thus becomes a sacred journey, peeling back illusions and attachments to unearth truths that serve higher purposes. The transformed self emerges, aligned in wisdom and resilience, ready to meet life with grace. The solitary path, filled though it may be with challenges, is rich with moments of profound introspection. Solitude casts light upon hidden facets of the self, inviting exploration of the inner world with courage. Through this introspection, aspects once unexamined arise, unresolved emotions, unstated desires, and transformation, tinged with healing, takes place. A voyage inward provokes self-discovery, laying the groundwork for an existence anchored in genuineness. While solitude may initially seem isolating, it paradoxically opens conduits to deeper connections with others. As authenticity deepens, so does the capacity for empathy and genuine relation. Embracing individuality attracts kindred spirits, fostering relationships that resonate with the essence of truth and facilitate mutual growth. Thus, solitude becomes a bridge to deeper communal understanding rather than a barrier of isolation. Within this solitude, the discovery of an inner sanctuary, a haven of peace amid chaos, flourishes. This refuge offers healing, a respite from the constant demands of external interactions. In this sacred stillness, individuals find solace, embracing a serenity that nurtures the soul and revitalizes the spirit, preparing them for life's myriad challenges with poise. Solitude, though perceived as vulnerability, fosters resilience and inner strength. Facing the uncertainties of a solitary path develops the capacity to withstand adversity, to adapt with tenacity. Navigating solitude cultivates courage and perseverance, anchoring growth in strength, paving the way for a journey rich in meaning. Solitude is thus transformative, imbuing individuals with fortitude to thrive within life's shifting currents. In this sacred journey, the path of growth, often walked alone, elicits transcendence and transformation. Individuals are invited to forsake the familiar, stepping boldly into the unknown. This path, if embraced, offers the promise of profound personal liberation and actualization. As one emerges from this transformative pilgrimage, the constraints of societal expectations dissolve, unveiling a life adorned in freedom and radiance. The path of growth, though solitary, unfolds into a journey of boundless exploration, awakening the soul to the vast potential of its own existence. In the delicate weave of our lives, we often construct identities from threads spun by the expectations and needs of others. This creates a tapestry where dependencies masquerade as bonds, and validation shapes our perceived worth. Friendships born from such illusions are often fragile, rooted in shared vulnerabilities rather than mutual growth. There's a seeming stability in these connections, offering comfort in a world that often feels chaotic. Yet, as the fog of dependence dissipates, an awakening occurs, revealing that these bonds may be as ephemeral as the shadows of who we once were. As we venture into the uncharted territory of self-evolution, these old connections fray, exposing their inherent frailty. The person who once thrived on external reassurance becomes a distant memory, a wisp of who we are becoming. In the emergence of emotional independence, old dependencies shatter under the weight of newfound truths. Friends who cherished our shadows may construe our transformation as betrayal, for no longer do we mirror their expectations. Unraveling these borrowed identities offers liberation, but also demands the courage to face the pain of letting go, not of people per se, but of outdated selves and the comfort of familiarity. Independence, then, is not the severance of ties, but a reshaping, a recalibration of connections through the lens of evolving truths. This metamorphosis, however, can rattle those who once depended on our former selves. It is not self-absorption, but the nurturing of internal strength, a reorienting of relationships around authenticity. As we claim this self-sufficiency, others may misinterpret it as aloofness or betrayal. Our culture often confuses self-reliance for selfishness, inciting misunderstandings that fracture the delicate equilibrium of friendships. By releasing the need for external validation, we may inadvertently challenge others' perceptions, casting them into a space where change feels threatening and disorienting. Resistance emerges not merely from within, but from without, as friends who benefited from our past dependencies grapple with the perceived loss of relevance. This pain, while deeply personal, echoes a universally primal fear, the terror of being left behind. When we evolve beyond dependence, those once nurturing allies might feel a vacuum, misconstruing our newfound freedom as a sign of dwindling affection. Yet true independence is not the eradication of love, but its metamorphosis into an unconfined embrace, unshackled from demands and expectations. Our transformation invites a reevaluation of relationships, where the dynamic shifts from dependency to interdependency, a dance of mutual enrichment rather than parasitic need. Such a shift demands patience and self-awareness, bridged by heartfelt communication. Fear of displacement often provokes defensiveness, yet if approached with compassionate understanding, this transition can spur growth and authentic connection. Sharing the journey, inviting others to witness our unfolding, offers fertile ground for bridges forged in empathy and shared evolution. Communication becomes the linchpin of this transformation, allowing us to chart new territories for those we wish to accompany. Articulate this evolution not as exclusion, but as an unveiling of authentic selfhood. Invite loved ones to peer beyond the superficial layers, encouraging them to perceive the broader canvas upon which we paint our lives. As you extend these dialogues, frame them not as pleas for understanding, but as invitations to engage with our shared humanity in its dynamic unfolding. In this journey, we subtly pose an implicit invitation to transform alongside us or to part with grace. This is not a forceful demand, but an acknowledgement of life's flow, accepting that not all paths are meant to remain intertwined. Our evolution demands maturity, recognizing when divergence is necessary for growth. Extend your hand with kindness, but hold it loosely, allowing space for others to choose whether to embrace or release this shared journey. Personal empowerment flourishes in this newfound autonomy, and through it, we become architects of enriched relationships. Independence is not a solitary island, but a beacon of authenticity, inviting others to ignite their own inner fires. This empowerment ripples outward, nurturing collective liberation. Embrace the misunderstandings as part of the human experience. knowing that authentic growth is not about isolation, but rather a deeper introspection that strengthens communal ties. Celebrate your journey toward emotional independence as a beginning rather than an end. Invite your network to witness this transformation as an exploration of shared freedom. Journey together into spaces defined not by constraints, but by possibilities, acknowledging the profound capacity for growth within us all. In this reimagined dance of companionship, relish in the liberated redefinition of bonds, where shared joys and memories are continually crafted anew. Ultimately, transformation reveals an infinite horizon, where past dependencies dissolve into the vast tapestry of potential. Embrace this horizon, welcoming the fluidity of self and the rich, resounding connections with others. In this tapestry, distinction exists without division, unity thrives alongside individuality, and together we journey into the boundless cosmos of who we are meant to become. In the silent alchemy of personal transformation, you become a mirror, reflecting the untapped potential and dormant aspirations of those around you. As you tread this path toward self-actualization, expanding the definitions of success and fulfillment, others may find their comfort zones contested and their own journeys questioned. This reflection can be unsettling, for it reveals the shadows where they've settled for less and the dreams they've shelved. Their unease surfaces not as a critique of your progress, but rather as a testament to their internal struggles. In the tapestry of personal relationships, witnessing someone else's metamorphosis can kindle insecurities, sparking self-doubt and even resentment. Your growth becomes a beacon, casting a light on their choices and challenging them to introspect. As you ascend, there is an implicit invitation for them to join or to find solace in their familiar patterns, often portrayed as doubt or skepticism towards your pursuits. This silent confrontation stirs something deep within them, urging a reflection on whether they walk in harmony with their own values and dreams. The path you forge is a quiet inquiry, asking them to reflect. Why not grow? Without words, your journey becomes a gentle nudge towards their potential. Their reactions, whether defensive or curious, reveal their personal battles as they grapple with your evolution. These defenses, cloaked in humor or critique, are shields against the vulnerability they feel in the presence of your progress. Understanding this is crucial, allowing you to navigate these dynamics with patience and empathy, framing your transformation as a personal voyage, untouched by judgment or comparison. In a world where comparison often merges with self-worth, witnessing a friend's growth can feel like a personal indictment. Yet this is not a malicious act, but a defense against the fear of being left behind. As relationships stretch and grow, the sight of one moving swiftly forward can cast shadows on those who perceive themselves as stationary. These moments of insecurity mirror broader existential themes of impermanence and uncertainty. Your journey offers a silent invitation, reassuring them that growth is attainable should they choose to embrace it, transforming their fears into aspirations. Navigating these landscapes of discomfort necessitates a tender compassion, recognizing their reactions as stemming from introspection and discomfort amidst change can foster empathy and understanding. It is not about diminishing your achievements, but about validating their experience while steadfastly pursuing your path. Through compassion, your growth emerges as a beacon of shared potential, offering space for dialogue and mutual exploration rather than division and competition. Change, with all its conspicuous transformations, acts as a catalyst, challenging the status quo within your network of connections. As you evolve, you disrupt the stasis that provides comfort to many, provoking reflection and urging others to reconsider their narratives. This catalyst can inspire collective growth, emboldening others to break free from stagnation, even as it consolidates resistance in some. Regardless, your journey serves as a gentle encouragement, welcoming others to explore change as an essential facet of their narratives. In the face of resistance, resilience becomes your ally, a Stoic guide through the ancient teachings of perseverance. Resistance arises from those who cling to familiarity, struggling to reconcile the norms you have surpassed. Your resilience isn't about creating barriers, but about fostering an understanding of the evolving nature of relationships. The resistance from others becomes a hallmark of change, not a deterrent, but a reminder of your goals. By maintaining focus on your path, you mirror the strength of your convictions, ensuring that growth is a continuous, unyielding endeavor. Your transformational path need not be a solitary or divisive journey. Instead, it becomes a medium for encouraging mutual growth, transmuting discomfort into opportunity. Embracing the Stoic principle of controlling only what lies within your sphere, your growth becomes a silent encouragement, inviting those around you to embark on their explorations. This is not a boastful display, but a journey of humility and openness, fostering conversations that foster mutual understanding and shared growth. Integral to your journey are the boundaries you establish, not as barriers, but as delineations of your emotional and behavioral limits. These boundaries are sacred protectors, creating space for your transformation while acknowledging others' reservations. They foster mutual respect and healthy discourse, encouraging others to respect your evolution and reflect on their own. In defining these lines, you honor your journey and your past, embracing continuity and respect over abrupt severance. Ultimately, growth reveals itself as a unifying force rather than a solitary endeavor. Through the discomfort and reflection it triggers, deeper connections can emerge for those choosing to grow alongside you. This unity does not rely on past roles or dynamics, but celebrates shared ambition and transformative journeys. Your growth offers an invitation to expanded dimensions of understanding, shared experiences, and common visions. As discomfort transforms, reborn relationships thrive, binding people through shared aspirations. Growth becomes a testament to the collective potential of human connection and evolution, an exploration that transcends the individual and embraces the whole. In the gentle embrace of Stoic wisdom, we find solace in the art of detachment, a principle encouraging us to hold emotions lightly, like a gentle breeze brushing through our fingers. This detachment does not sever our bonds or mute our empathy, but rather creates a sanctuary where we can withstand life's tempests with an unruffled spirit. The growth we seek often weaves loss into its tapestry, prompting us to honor past connections while understanding the necessity of distance on our journey. This shift in perspective, embracing detachment without harshness, transforms the space between us and others into a sacred realm of self-discovery and renewal. We learn to see these spaces not as voids, but as opportunities for deeper understanding. Change, the ever-constant rhythm of life, often follows the natural course of friendships flowing apart, like tributaries diverging from the same stream. Although these separations can be perceived as loss, they are, in truth, a reflection of life's innate progression. Accepting this impermanence with grace allows us to nurture a garden of gratitude rather than bitterness. Each relationship, transient though it may be, leaves an indelible mark on our journey, enriching us with lessons and love that linger long after paths diverge. By relinquishing the need to hold on to every bond, we free ourselves from the shackles of nostalgia and accepts the beauty in the fluidity of human connections. Letting go gracefully is akin to releasing a bird into the sky, understanding that its flight is not a loss, but a testament to freedom achieved. Friendships that have run their course deserve a farewell imbued with gratitude for shared moments rather than held on to with grief. In releasing these bonds, we are not denying their significance but acknowledging their completion. This act of letting go liberates us from the emotional weight of the past, creating space for the potential blossoms of new connections. By embracing this practice, we allow love to fill the space left behind. Love for the journey, for what once was, and for what could be. As we reflect on the memories of friendships past, we engage in honoring rather than clinging. The role they played in shaping who we've become is a sacred echo of their existence in our lives. By appreciating these memories without longing to resurrect them, we respect their transient nature while cherishing the indelible impact they've had on our hearts. In doing so, we find the courage to embrace our current path, unshackled by the chains of what was, embracing who we are becoming. In the dance of growth, we often take a path requiring graceful separation from that which no longer aligns with our evolving self. This separation is not marked by lament, but by an acknowledgement of each friendship's intrinsic value, even as they fade. In this departure lies an opportunity for peace, a chance to allow relationships to unravel organically, without animosity or regret. Through this lens, we appreciate the varied journeys each friendship encapsulated, freeing ourselves from the weight of blame or resentment. Each goodbye becomes a gentle step forward, making room for new affinities and greater self-understanding. Embracing change invites us to embark on a deep journey of inner work necessary for achieving emotional equilibrium during transitions. Through practices like meditation and reflective journaling, we delve into the essence of each relationship, uncovering the gifts they left behind. This inner exploration fosters emotional resilience, allowing us to view these life transitions as opportunities for growth rather than wounds. As we cultivate this self-awareness, we welcome the evolving dance of connections with open arms and hearts, unburdened by past disappointments. Resilience is the alchemy that transforms life's trials into triumphs, allowing us to perceive distance not as loss, but as part of our enlightened path. Within the embrace of resilience, we find peace, a tranquility that transcends superficial disappointment, revealing the depths of inner strength forged through transformation. Cultivating resilience encourages us to engage with life's cycles with open-hearted acceptance, nurturing deep inner tranquility. This ongoing practice reassures us that all distances ultimately serve our growth and foster enriched connections with those who walk our path. Compassion, a profound expression of our humanity, reframes our perception of distance from one of pain to one of understanding. Extending compassion towards others acknowledges their paths, distinct and intricate, urging us to interpret their journeys without judgment or bitterness. Compassion, when turned inward, affords us forgiveness for perceived missteps and helps us treat ourselves with the same kindness we offer to others. This duality ensures that self-compassion and empathy can bridge the voids left by distance, enveloping us in a space of love and understanding. In the space created by distance, we find the fertile ground for new beginnings, where dreams and growth come to life. What seemed like emptiness becomes a canvas for newfound passions and relationships aligned with our evolved selves. Embracing this space with openness allows us to invite new opportunities, cultivating connections rooted in authenticity and depth. These connections flourish in the fertile ground of self-discovery, offering enriching encounters and aligning us with those who resonate with our essence. As we walk peacefully into growth, touched by the echoes of cherished distances, we find ourselves enriched with wisdom and peace. The journey we embark on is not just a solitary path, but a pilgrimage toward profound understanding. We carry into the future an appreciation for the unique role each friendship played, acknowledging the transformative power of both the fleeting and the enduring. In honoring this path, we embrace the beauty of life's impermanence, choosing to navigate future relationships with courage and kindness. Through this journey, we become architects of a peaceful future, filled with meaningful connections and soulful experiences, guided by the love and gratitude fostered by the connections that shaped us. In the journey of personal growth, it is imperative to honor the roles that others have played along the way. Each relationship, whether fleeting or enduring, contributes to the mosaic of our experiences, rendering intricacies that shape and propel us. Even when a connection no longer serves the path forward, it has added richness and depth to life's tapestry. As you stand on the threshold of letting go, acknowledge these shared experiences with gratitude. Each friend, each bond, once resonated with mutual benefit and joy, nurturing facets of your personhood, now ready for evolution. In parting, gratitude anchors transition, allowing you to release others not with resentment, but with a profound appreciation for the history shared. Embracing this shift involves casting a retrospective gaze on the positives without negating the necessity of distance. This process liberates you from the heaviness of grievance, illuminating the complexity of personal growth. Release becomes a delicate art of unraveling emotional threads while honoring their significance in your narrative. As one might turn the pages of a beloved book, reimagining each chapter with fondness rather than clinging to it, so too does this graceful detachment guide your passage, letting gratitude become the compass steering the separation. Each farewell is a poignant lesson in acceptance, an exercise in gratitude for the stories once told together. The act of releasing with reverence transforms closure into an enveloping act of kindness, stirring an internal reconciliation that shields against the bite of bitterness. Recognizing the value each person brought to your journey fosters a broader embrace of your own narrative, ensuring closure is not a point of emotional depletion, but a warm, empowering turning of the page. Such gratitude extends even to those challenging relationships that prompted personal boundaries and authenticity to crystallize. Each parting is a potential watershed for learning, seeding the ground for wisdom and fortitude. By embracing gratitude's warmth, the faint remnants of sorrow are transmuted into understanding, paving the way for connections that align more closely with your evolved self. Through practicing gratitude in farewells, you construct a life imbued with resilience, a beacon illuminating the path of inevitable goodbyes. Amidst personal evolution, the acceptance of divergent paths emerges as a crucial, liberating force. Releasing resistance to change naturally fosters freedom and lucidity. These divergences are not dismissals but echoes of growth, signifying dual expansions, By finding peace with separate journeys, you honor the diversity that underpins human experience, cultivating acceptance over animosity. Divergences serve as reminders of authenticity and courage, a testament to pursuing genuine development. Such acceptance reframes the parting bond, transcending disappointment and fostering mutual respect and shared aspirations for continued revelation. Release is inherently an act of liberation, a means to shed the old, unburdening oneself of past grudges and regrets. When executed respectfully, release permits both individuals to journey forth, unencumbered by entangled narratives. Freely letting go ushers in emotional independence, reaffirming ownership over your personal evolution. This dual liberation, freeing oneself and respecting another's path, engenders maturity, affirming self-responsibility and eschewing vilification of past bonds. It becomes a deliberate choice to let go of attachments gracefully, crafting a space ripe with potential for growth and meaningful future bonds. Every interaction, whether brief or enduring, contributes to a shared history deserving respect. These strands of connection enrich an evolving narrative and illuminate lessons on human nature and social dynamics. Honoring these histories as you release invites empathy, welcoming the insight these moments offered. You perceive that divergence need not diminish past connections, but enriches the story with multifaceted introspections, instilling grace in your release. Integrity is paramount as you navigate separation. Honest and sincere communication ensures the departure is respectful, maintaining the myths of kindness and empathy. This integrity surrounds your departure with care, transforming it from a withdrawal into an empowering act of self-growth. Such farewells are no abandonment, but a final gesture of respect, paving the way for an untethered future. Forgiveness becomes an essential alchemy in this release, transforming lingering negativity into serene acceptance. By forgiving, you unbind emotional chains to past grievances, creating compassion's fertile ground. Forgiveness acknowledges shared fallibility and celebrates imperfect humanity, refining growth itself. Resentment acts as a shadow on growth, a tether inhibiting freedom. Releasing resentment cleanses the spirit, unearthing serenity and welcoming new paradigms. This purgation reestablishes emotional equilibrium, inviting new possibilities to unfold. A farewell elevated by a blessing transforms separation into a nurturing, heartfelt moment. Imbued with warm wishes for future journeys, such a soulful departure manifests a positive echo, enveloping all in its embrace. Ultimately, endings illuminate transformation's light. Where one narrative closes, another begins, lighting pathways for authentic living. In cherishing wisdom gained and embracing an ever-evolving narrative, endings become a canvas for self-discovery. Release with respect, and let these farewells guide a purposeful transformation, embracing change with newfound reverence. Growth is more than a mere transformation. It is an unveiling, a brave shedding of layers that once entwined us with the expectations of others. This journey is deeply personal, yet inseparable from the connections we forge. As we embark on this path, we find ourselves like sculptors, chiseling away at facades worn for acceptance. The Stoics remind us that true growth is an inward voyage, steering us away from external validations to seek inner virtues. Marcus Aurelius observed that the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. The challenges of losing those we cherish often morph into stepping stones toward self-realization. Though daunting, this transformation offers solace in its authenticity, guiding us along a path governed by our values rather than societal demands. This journey demands an unyielding commitment to self-awareness and an openness to vulnerability. As Sartre suggested, we are condemned to be free, empowered to define our essence through choices, even amidst solitude and the uncertainty of newfound freedom. Navigating this path involves discerning which relationships bolster our true selves and which anchor us to obsolete identities. Emotional resilience becomes our guiding light, offering a haven amid the turbulence of change. By welcoming loss as a catalyst for growth, we initiate a sacred pilgrimage toward self-discovery. This transformation is not an abandonment, but a reconnection with our core, a realignment that infuses each step with purpose and clarity. In this evolution lies paradoxical liberation, freedom through relinquishing what no longer serves our higher path. This process, unsettling as it may be, involves shedding connections that once provided comfort. Yet, within this letting go lies profound liberation. As the Buddha taught, attachment breeds suffering, and releasing relationships misaligned with our evolving selves liberates our spirit to flourish. By doing so, we honor our life purpose, which brings fulfillment and serenity. This act is not one of disdain, but of love, both for ourselves and those we part with. Acknowledging that not all bonds withstand change frees us from forced connections. Much like pruning a tree to foster growth, creating space through loss welcomes connections resonating with our truest selves. While it is natural to mourn what once was, this void invites authentic relationships to blossom in its place, nourishing our soul's evolution. Through relationships, mirrors of our virtues and shadows appear. Carl Jung's concept of the shadow self reveals denied aspects of our psyche. By facing these shadows amidst our connections, we achieve deeper understanding and healing. As we grow, these mirrors shift. Those once reflecting insecurities might no longer resonate with the evolving self. Such changes can unsettle us and others in our sphere. Yet, by embracing these mirrors as opportunities for transformation, we identify allies who support our evolution, mirroring growth back to us. As we tread the solitary path of self-evolution, solitude becomes a trusted companion, not a curse. It grants space to explore our deepest thoughts and emotions, free from external clamor. Nietzsche espoused that he who has a why to live can bear almost any how, and solitude helps define that why through introspection. By cultivating a relationship with ourselves in silence, we trust personal intuition and innate wisdom, allowing solitude to be a sanctuary, aligning desires and aspirations. Moreover, solitude helps us confront existential companions like fear and sadness. By facing these emotions, we transform obstacles into gateways of understanding. Though solitude bears a notion of loneliness, it can spark creativity and inspiration, illuminating our path forward. Through this solitary journey, clarity and strength emerge, aligning us with our authentic selves. Yet, navigating growth necessitates resilient boundaries, not as walls, but clear lines where our values begin and end. Echoing Stoic wisdom, understanding what is within our control cultivates healthier relationships. Boundaries honor self-worth, communicating needs clearly with courage, sometimes risking disappointment. Strong boundaries reflect self-ownership, acknowledging responsibility for choices and well-being. They free others from carrying burdens of unmet needs. Jung noted, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are, and boundaries frame this self-realization. Engaging authentically becomes possible, interactions rooted in respect and understanding, fostering emotional resilience. Growth intertwines detachment and connection, a dance between personal resilience and deeply nourishing bonds. Detachment, rooted in Stoic and Buddhist philosophies, means releasing emotional investment in uncontrollable outcomes, achieving equanimity. Connection enriches our journey, fostering relationships that respect individuality and celebrate shared aspirations. This harmonious rhythm of detachment and connection supports growth, embracing our inner and outer worlds. Reframing loss as opportunity transforms narratives of abandonment into renewal. Like forest fires leading to new growth, loss paves the way for aligned possibilities. This cycle, akin to alchemical transformation, turns pain into wisdom, a preamble for new beginnings. Each departure invites self-exploration, nurturing self-intimacy that attracts relationships aligned with our highest aspirations. Navigating growth, we discover wholeness, transcending external circumstances. Embracing contradictions, vulnerabilities, and strengths, we celebrate the symphony of growth, a tapestry of challenges and triumphs as Nietzsche envisioned. Wholeness delivers peace and self-expression, directing energy toward purposeful living. Relishing this wholeness affirms our role as architects of evolution, standing resilient against life's winds of change. In this journey, kindred spirits emerge, resonating with our authentic selves. These connections honor our individuality, offering support and inspiration beyond superficial ties. Together, aligned souls create bonds that nurture true selves, celebrating shared enlightenment. Like stars illuminating a path, these connections foster growth and amplify individual strengths. Ultimately, amidst growth, we return to the self, an unwavering sanctuary, akin to the hero's mythological journey home. This homecoming is a cycle of renewal, a testament to life's continuous self-creation. As we stride toward endless horizons, we carry echoes of ancient wisdom and our authentic truth. At this nexus of growth and self, an endless wellspring of resilience and adventure awaits. Here, we invite you to embark on your own journey and ask that you like and subscribe to our channel for more timeless reflections.